Hello, can you guys hear me? Hold on, let me check and see. Okay. So everything seems to be up and running. Hey everyone, hold on. Now, testing one, two, three. Okay, so that's fine. We're fine. We're good. Testing. Hold on. That's better. Hello, one. Welcome all back to my YouTube and my Instagram channel. It is me, Asiyryn. If you're if you're new here, I don't know what just happened, but if you're new here, please like, comment, share, and/or subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get notified when I post. This YouTube is about spirituality, reality, comedy, and holistic healing. If you like any of those things, please be sure to stay tuned. I have so much more where that came from. Shout out to my Ghostbustas, my real true day one. Shout out to my patsies. Now that just simply means that you're a part of the membership, you're a part of the tribe world. It gives very much predictions, astrology, tarot, and social culture. If you like any of those things, please be sure to go ahead and stay tuned for the patsies. Because girl, we coming. Like JT, no shade. But for real, I just want to say thank you guys and shout out to my observers, people that just watch. Shout out to y'all. I want to take my jacket off, but I'm already recording, so I don't want to do too much. So before we get started, we're going to do it a little differently because it's not how I had it at once, and I haven't used this platform in a minute, so it looks a little different. I didn't alter it. It probably looks very similar to the last time I did it which was like October. Um, because your girl did not pay her subscription. So we're just gonna wing it, okay? Shout out to y'all. Y'all see the names on the side. Shout out to them. Even though sometimes I'll be ready to cuss them out. It's okay because money don't grow on trees. Everybody got to pay their bills. No shade. Um, but yeah, if you couldn't tell by this title, honey, we're going to be talking about what? We're going to be talking about who? We're going to be talking about February 2025 and the predictions that I had. Well, we're actually going to start a little bit before 2025, and I thought I was going to be able to do it a little differently. I usually have pictures and stuff up to showcase what's going on so that people can understand a little bit more while I'm doing it. But things change, people change, feelings change too. I never thought the circumstances would have changed too. Um, I I don't know. So we're gonna get started. I don't know who is here. I can't tell. But to everybody that's watching or going to watch, hey, how you doing? I greatly appreciate you very muchly for coming in here and embracing me and showing love any way possible. Like I said, by commenting to let it resonated, liking to let me know that you want more content like this, sharing if it's funny or insightful, and subscribing to let me know and let you know that I should be a returning viewer to this channel. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I was supposed to actually do this yesterday. Had I did and like set it up yesterday, I would have known like a lot of this stuff was not working the way it should be. But for January the 27th, I said that, well, that was 2 days ago. January the 27th, I said that something's going to be happening with the Jews. I don't know exactly what happened with the Jews or a small minority group of people. I think it was the Hispanics that something happened to. I was close, not 100%, kind of off. And then I said significant signs for from now, which is at the time, which was January 27th until February the 29th. I think it's the 29th this year. If it's not the 28th, I said something significant with these signs: Taurus, Cancer, Aquarius, Capricorn, Pisces, Aries, and Scorpio. I feel like those are going to have significant changes or be very prominent in the, I guess, in the limelight or even in the news. Now, I said political situations heavily influencing social culture and leisure rights. Okay, quote unquote. And then I said Neptune is in Pisces, which rules illusions, fame, and other superficial things. So with Neptune being in Pisces, I'm not sure exactly where the degree is because it doesn't say right here. But the Neptune in Pisces is going to give you very much like it's all of the illusions are coming to a head, and it's going to let you see what's meant for you and what's not meant for you, and also what has been playing and been showing you a facade this entire time, showing you face, showing you a mask, right? So then we skip to the 29th, which I had a picture of, but we're not going to do that because I was just going to read it on a whim. But we're going to skip to February 4th because, you know, we're kind of already in February energy because it's a lot of Aquarius energy right now. But everything, a lot of stuff is an Aquarian energy right now. But for February 4th, 2025, I said balance and justice coming into the field to even the scales of mass destruction. So it's going to be a lot of checks and balances that are going to be implemented soon, even though I'm predicting that the president of the United States wants to get rid of that and also wants to get rid of certain legislature or just the whole legislative branch. Um, and then it says passionate new beginnings in love for February the 4th. Because if I'm not mistaken, for the 4th, I believe that Aries is in Venus now. Venus is in Aries now, so it's going to create some sort of passionate new beginnings, whether that's in self love, self motivation, partnerships, um, destructions of old traditions and the birth of new traditions, because like I said, Pluto is in Aquarius, and I think it when it gets to February the 4th, it's going to be around 2 degrees in Pluto Aquarius. So it's going to be heavily focused and centered on love, social standards, social norms, stereotypes, um and it's kind of just like, to me, either you could already be in a relationship and it gets deeper, or you could be like meddling around with someone and it finally becomes something more than what it is, kind of. So let's just see what else. So it says change, strange change in social culture, the way it operates, and maybe even food shortages or overages because the sun is in Aquarius at 16 degrees. So 1 plus 6 is 7 usually, and usually 7 is depicted as like people consider it a good luck number, but it's considered like a alliteration or like a repetition where it kind of is like it's a warning sign to me more so than anything. It's more like a warning sign and a prelude to something bigger than what is actually occurring. And with the sun being in Aquarius, conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius is going to be always fighting between the subconscious and the ego, and all of that entails, right? And so it says bringing unpredictable energy specifically around the ocean and other bodies of water. Like I said, I believe Neptune rules bodies of no, the moon rules the bodies of water, and but Neptune and Uranus rules weather, right? And so it could be like I said, but Pluto is in Aquarius. It could be like affecting a mass of people. And what happened last year was just to show a prelude to the weather that we're going to have this year. I said power outages. Now, I don't know exactly where that's going to be. That this is on the 4th. I don't know exactly where this is going to be, but it happens all over the world usually. So I specifically based it on the East Coast though. So we're going to see, because that's for the 4th. Now, as we skip to the 8th of February, we have the moon in Cancer in the second house at 3 degrees. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is a full moon or a new moon, but I do know that Cancer rules the moon. That's his sign. That's his home sign. So I already know that secrets, illusions are going to expand. And if they're not going to expand and get bigger, they're going to expand the mind and expand the way people think, because it's bringing out more secrets and uncovering illusions. Because to what I seen when I was reading the astrological chart, I seen that the Cancer moon opposes the North Node. But mind you, the moon rules the North and the South Node. Is what we're trying to move away from, and what our destiny is going to. So it's actually it's really interesting because the North Node is in Pisces. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is the planet of illusions. Neptune is the planet of fame. Neptune is the planet of fortune. Neptune is the planet of notoriety. Neptune is the planet of weather. Neptune is the planet, it rules addictions. Neptune is the planet of, it rules so many things. And at 29 degrees, catch it, in the 10th house, is as if we're focusing on trying to weave out what it is that is best for us when it comes to the workplace, when it comes to who we surround ourselves with, our destiny, our ambitions, our goals. Is this job right for me? Is this living situation right for me? Is this is this food right for me? Right? It's like using discernment. Where by February 8th, it's going to be a lot of discernment being used, a lot of balance and checks and balances. It's really going to balance that out. And it also says trying to fight change or destiny, because it opposes the North Node, the moon. So it's like everything is working out for your in your favor, but you're blocking your blessing. And I can 100% attest to this. And I'm happy I said that, because a lot of times what people don't realize is it's not other people that are blocking your blessings, it's usually you. Now, with that, Cancer also is in Mars, or Mars is also in Cancer in retrograde, right? So we also at 18 degrees. So we also are talking about balancing security in the home front, like I said, balancing security and financial, because I did predict this. It could be by the 8th, but it's a lot of energy around the stock market, the cryptocurrency. It's gonna be so wonky. And then I said something about 401ks, Roth IRAs, the Federal Reserve, something along with money, something along with finances, because like I said, Taurus is in Uranus, or Uranus is in Taurus right now. So it's a lot of energy based around trying to figure out whether or not this is the solid foundation, or this is something for me to invest into. This is something that I can build with energy. And with Mars in retrograde in Cancer, it's telling you, hold on, think before you do stuff, because it could lead to you that one blessing that you missed. And it also can lead to causing an uproar in those of your surroundings, because in retrograde, Mars rules action, Mars rules fights, Mars rule war, Mars rule lust, Mars rule masculine energy. So it's a lot of energy around act like a lady but think like a man type of energy, because Cancer is the divine feminine. Usually it's usually the feminine energy, maybe not the divine feminine energy, but the feminine energy. It usually is depicted as a feminine energy, a womanly energy, right? A caring motherly energy. um and with it being in retrograde, is probably being overindulging and caring for others, uh meddling in other people's business. What else could that signify? It's just things that are in close proximity to you. But with that, it also, Cancer Mars is trining Saturn in Pisces at 18 degrees in the 10th house. Now, Mars is currently in the second house or the third house by the 8th of February, if I'm not mistaken. But with the Saturn Pisces at 18 degrees 10th house, like I said, it's a lot of things around illusions in the political standpoint. It's illusions throughout time, because like I said, Saturn is the daddy of the zodiacs, and is the daddy, it's the planet, it's the daddy of the planets, if that makes sense. It's very, very like, that's why you always see like Capricorns and Aquarius go through shit the most, because they're always being taught lessons before the general public, and to equip them in things that is going to occur in the future. And I think with this Saturn in Pisces right now, it is a time of, on February 8th, of using your discernment, using your intuition, because illusions are going to be amplified with this Pisces. Or it could also signify specific people starting to come to the limelight, and people starting to leave the limelight. You can start to see people start to have failure stories in the beginning of February, or celebrities falling off from the limelight, I guess you can say, um, and trying to fight the punch, I guess. And then it says creating a sense of boundaries and restrictions, because if you didn't know, Pisces is about in some cases is about boundaries. And with um Saturn in Pisces, it usually means restrictions or things that lessons that need to be learned from past transgressions. Testing. Let me take this effect off. Hmm. Hello. What the fuck? Reloaded, ho. Reloaded. Child, big boobs. Anyway, I hope that's better. I took the background off so you guys could see and tell the T girl. But that's all I have for February 8th. Now we're gonna move to the 18th. I do actually have a couple of them. I only had 4. We're gonna move to the 18th. Mercury is in Pisces, that 7th in the 10th house, and I says it's causing illusion in the communication forefront with problems also in the jail system. So it could be problems signified in but it's usually problems in regards to connection. I mean, no, communication, but it might also be problems in connections with the jail system, like how rigged it is or something like that. It's probably going to come out more now. I said it also conjuncts the Pisces. I mean, it also conjuncts the sun in Pisces at 0 degrees in the 10th house. Like I said, fear mongering propaganda against countries outside of the US, politician leaders orchestrating destruction with immature emotions. That was quick. That was the 18th. Now let's go to the 20th. Anyway, so the 20th was actually a more important day to me. It seems very significant. I don't know what's happening on this day, besides the moon being in Sagittarius and Jupiter being in retrograde. Those were the two significant things that I saw and I chased. But the mentality that I got for today on the 20th of February was kick ass first, ask questions later mentality, which just signifies like not giving a fuck, just doing things impulsively, which makes sense because by the 20th of February, we will have a lot of Aries placements. We will have Saturn in Aries. We will have Neptune in Aries. And then also to top that off, we have the moon in Sagittarius in the second house, the seventh house at 2 degrees, causing an official leap of faith amongst those who are content. The level up period opposing the sun at 2 degrees, creating friction between freedom versus exposure, you versus them energy. And that song specifically that I picked up was by Janae Aiko, You versus Them. Um, Alrighty. So yeah, so with the moon being in Sagittarius, it could be at the bigger picture, looking at things that most people don't see around you, looking at things that create some sort of dream-like reality, right? And then with Gemini in close proximity to uh I think it was in close proximity to Mars at this point. But Jupiter is in retrograde, is in Gemini at 11 degrees in the first house, bringing restrictions on expansion to look, think, and communicate deeper. Now is the time to look, communicate, and think deeper, right? Opposing Mercury in Pisces at 11 degrees, creating friction between a want for change and a need to change with individual passion and will. But yeah, so really so let's break that down for me because Jupiter is usually the planet of expansion. Jupiter is usually the planet of evolution. Jupiter is, well, to some degree. Jupiter is usually the planet of wisdom, philosophy, caretakers. Jupiter is usually the planet of things that create a sense of um leadership, right? They're usually the leaders, the creators of the zodiac or whatnot, in most cases. Um, and it being in retrograde is halting a lot of those things. And for some people, it may be improving, but for general purposes, I'm going to assume that it is causing restrictions, especially with the moon in Sagittarius, because it's like subconsciously people are thinking about how to become better at something, or how to do better at something, or how to get a job promotion, or how to get a car. Like it's always how to do that next level up, right? But let me see for February the 25th. Oh, this is something else that I wanted to say. Another prediction that I had, a random prediction. Fuck. Okay. Another random prediction that I have was about how I believe that eventually they're trying to make it to the point where we are going to owe the job system, and the jobs are gonna pay the government because they already pay the government with taxes and other levies and all that other stuff, right? And so one thing that they're trying to do that I foresee, maybe not in the next 5 years, hell, maybe not even in the next 10 years, but it's the energy of as if they are trying to get major companies to buy land and build foundation up there, whatever that foundation may be, build lots, build warehouses, build stores, but they already have a backup plan. Usually, what they do is the big major corporations, or what they're going to end up start doing is tearing down these big buildings that they built on these foundations, especially if they're about to go out of business. They're going to take down either the building if they have money, because some of them don't. That's why a lot of them go bankrupt. But when they start sizing down and they have the money, they're not really necessarily losing the money. They just don't think it's the best benefactor or the best benefit for the company. What they're doing is they're tearing down these buildings eventually and building apartment complexes and building other things to make it to the point where y'all need, or people are going to need these, because they're already buying all the land. So they're trying to make it to the point where you owe your job instead of owing the United States, meaning like if you have to pay taxes, your taxes are going to go through your job, right? Because they already go through your job with the W-2 in some way, shape, or form. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to come about. It's more so a prediction. I just channeled it. So it's saying your job is gonna make, it's basically putting us back into slavery, if that makes sense. Because it's like a union. We're gonna have, like, we're getting money from the workplace in order to survive, but it's specifically, especially if you work in like a grocery store, they might change that, because now Walmart, if I'm not mistaken, are trying to do a thing where you can buy now, pay later. So what they're trying to do is make you owe them to a certain point, because they would rather for you to owe them than for you to steal. So what they're trying to do is make you owe them to the point where they can build these apartments and you have to go through them, because they're going to try and make it like they're stopping homelessness and they're stopping the I was about to say the debt ceiling, but they're stopping the problems in regards to people having homes. And what's occurring is they're trying to build these buildings and build these apartments and stuff, so that we have to pay or go to work in order to survive for real, like in real life. Like no more content creation, no more TikTok, nothing like that. They want us to be like blue collared, white collared workers, and trying to get to a point, unless you have a college education, which is still hard to get a job unless you are set up to have a job by the time you get out. um it's saying to me like you, it's more of an energy of finding a balance, I guess you can say, because what they're trying to me do is make it to like a dictatorship and a, like a kind of like a conservatorship, where like they're ruling over the money, they're ruling over everything you do, they're ruling over where you can go, who you can see, people you can be with, kind of like that energy. That's a perfect way to explain it. But it's going to be for the general United States, it's not even going to be just one particular celebrity or one particular person. It's going to be generally, they're going to try. I'm not going to necessarily say it's going to work out in the way that they think, but they're trying to enforce a modern version of slavery so that we can be hip and subconsciously subjected to the things that we have already been privy to by being brainwashed. And on the 25th, okay, now we're getting back to this. The 25th of February, a good day to set goals and achievements, passionate energy. So this is a good day to start manifesting. This is a good day to do your cleansing rituals. This is a good day to do your your themes, your juniper, your sage, your writing on your scribing, or you are writing on your boards and figuring out what you want for this next month in March. It says still need a realistic plan and not so idealistic with the sun squaring Jupiter, right? And then I also said a great day to have an ending of a cycle and manifesting, thinking, acting fast, and not necessarily reacting in the moment. The moon also conjuncts Pluto, so be sure to check on family, loved ones around you at this time, because friction and arguments with family, friends, and others will arise. Hard to perceive it all at one moment. You gotta digest it. That's why I'm always the person that is like, let me do, and then do, right? Because you have to look at things like, is this the best thing for me to do in this moment, or is this the would this give me the best benefit in regards to doing certain things, right? But yeah, you guys, that's really all I have for y'all. I just wanted to get up here and tell y'all a few things that I believe what was gonna happen. And I didn't want it to be too long because I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be skipping, butchered, chopped and screwed. Child, like it's a mix from a DJ. Call me a disc jockey. But I just want to say I love you guys so much. I do greatly appreciate. Shout out to my Ghostbustas. Shout out to my pet seeds, and shout out to the observers. I do greatly appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. As you can see by the ticker down below, more will be coming soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And yeah, love you guys.